Hey, you guys.
It's literally me.
I'm Bunny. Sometimes I buy stuff, sometimes I say stuff, and sometimes I do stuff. What's up, guys? Today we're here to talk about a kind of goth staple, because if you take black lipstick out of the equation, what are you left with? Red. It's total bullshit. I mean, everybody knows goths wear purple, blue, any other kind of lipstick they want, because as a goth, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But I would put red in the category for sure. So today we're going to be talking about a lipstick that was created by a comedian actress named Christina Pajinski. And I cannot say her name, and not a lot of people can. So she goes by Christina P. So that's how we're going to be referring to her moving forward in this video. She's a stand-up comedian. She also has a very famous podcast with her husband, Tom Segura, called Your Mom's House, which Hubs is a huge fan of, and I am a side fan of because I have to listen to it all of the time. I would say her comedy kind of airs on a little bit of like the raunchy scale.
This week on Your Mom's House.
Would you rather fuck your sister? Hold on.
Which is totally up our league because we like love that shit. But what makes her really cool in my book is she is actually an old school goth. In her younger years, she was obviously just like the rest of us. I mean, who hasn't taken a picture like that in their teens? I certainly did. But she kept it up like her whole life. But you know, she's like a 47-year-old mom now and has carried what she loves about the culture with her. But you know, you kind of get into that little like, oh, I don't need to wear like the black makeup and like the black clothes all the time. But she actually kind of still does.
Hello, goth mommies. This is my outfit for shows tonight in Dallas. So one of the best things about getting older is that you can rebuy the outfits that you had as a teenager, but now you can like upgrade them. So this is a beautiful tulle dress I got from a designer named Molly Goddard. It's just fantastic. And then I styled it. I would have used, back in the day, I would wear, like, what are those called? A rosary beads. So instead I'm wearing Chanel, which is like a little classy. And then these are fantastic buckle boots from Alexander McQueen. Aren't these just everything? And there you go. There's my outfit.
I would say in her stand-up garb, she loves bling and like bright colors and all that. But the thing is her true core is back in that Bauhaus Sister of Mercy world. So I just love that about her. And she said that she has been wearing red lipstick ever since she was 15 years old. And she was constantly trying all of the brands. And she was like, you know what? Now that I have the capital and the know-how, I'm just going to make my own. And then that's where the perfect red came about. Now, I did not purchase this myself because I don't actually wear red lipstick that often. I find red lipstick is probably one of the hardest colors to wear. One, because most of the time it's very messy. And then also it just, you know, you have to have the right makeup and the right outfit. And like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's my go-to, but it is definitely not my go-to. So I did not buy this myself. My husband actually purchased this for my birthday, and it was a gift because he's heard all about it on the podcast and is like so excited for me to try it. He loves a red lipstick. I don't know if it has something to do with like blowjobs or something. But he loves it on me, and I really do like it on me too. It is just not my go-to for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the packaging. This is a very pretty component. This is kind of like a high gloss black, I want to say very heavy duty plastic. I do wish it was kind of matte black because like, you know, the little goth in me wants it to be matte black, but very, very pretty and very simple with her signature and the P in red. These are her words from the website. I've been aware and lover of red lipstick since I was 15 years old. After trying virtually every brand and shade there is, I've decided to make my own. I'm excited to bring you Christina's P Perfect Red Lipstick. After months of working with Italy's premier atelier, I've developed the highest quality lipstick that looks great on everyone. It's the perfect shade of red to make you feel powerful, beautiful, and ready to kick some ass. Vegan and gluten-free. This retails for $30 on your Mom's House Studios website, so you can order it there. I believe that is a little bit pricey for a lipstick, but again, if you're going to buy like MAC or Pat McGrath or anything like that, I mean, you are going to spend upwards of $30, and if this is supposed to be the perfect red, $30 is totally worth it. Now, I actually did wear this for a few days just to test it out. The first note I'll say is it is a lot sheerer than I thought a perfect red lipstick was going to be. When I swatched it on my hand, as you saw in the video, it is kind of sheer. It's creamy, but again, I was looking for like a little bit more coverage. Also, the very first time that I put it on, I felt like it was a little finicky to get right. Now, that might just be me and the first time trying it. Of course, the first time I put it on, I lined my lips in red first, because normally with red lipstick, you have to line. If you don't, it's going to be like a little troublesome. I also, before I line my lips for red lipstick, I usually put a balm on to kind of like prep them, because normally red lipstick is very drying. I think a lot of companies do that so that it has some staying power, because like I said earlier, it is a very messy lipstick to wear. So I think a lot of companies try and put whatever it is in there to make it dry down, and so my lips end up getting very, very dry. So I normally put a balm on before red lipstick. What I found with this one is it did not wear well over the balm, because it itself is extremely creamy and sheer, almost like a balm itself. I also noticed that it did not play well when I lined my lips first. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I did find out through other applications that lining it after I put the lipstick on worked out much better. Now, I did do a wear test on this for you, so I do have some photos of like chronologically like where I was during the day. So like you would expect me to have a picture like after I put it on first, right? Well, I'm Bunny and I didn't take one. I will tell you that I applied it at 6:40 a.m. in the morning, and then I went to work. So here's the first picture at 9:40 a.m. So this is 3 hours later. I had my morning coffee and I had a snack. So as you can see, it's still pigmented on my lips, but it is starting to wear a little bit. At this point, I did put on some just clear lip balm and like kind of went like that with my lips. And as you can see, it did kind of like redisperse the product. So I was actually able to get like more longevity out of the look before reapplying the lipstick. So of course, in that time period, I had lunch and I was like wiping my mouth and all of that. So by 1:40, you can see it's like completely gone. But it did wear down, like obviously like pretty well. It wasn't like I had like a ton of splotches like all over, but I do think me putting that balm on around 1:40 kind of like lengthened it a little bit. So then at that time, I did reapply it, and I did get a photo of that like fresh reapplication. This is with no liner. This is just at my desk putting lipstick back on. And then at 4 o'clock when I came home after some water and all that kind of stuff, this is the end result. So I did wear it from almost 7 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. and I only reapplied it once, and then there was one kind of touch up with some balm where I like So I have to say, after kind of the initial like trouble of getting it to apply and all that, it did have some lasting power. Now let's get into the actual formula itself. I do feel like, okay, I feel like it's sheer. So you really gotta put it on to get that like opaque red look, which I don't mind too much, because since it's sheer, it's extremely comfortable to wear. It did not dry my lips out at all. I even told my husband when I was putting it on that morning, I was like, oh, I'm just so scared that I'm gonna have like crusties around, because that's what happens when lipstick like dries out my lips. It was extremely comfortable to wear. It did not dry out whatsoever. So I give it like A+ for that for sure. However, it did have a high transfer factor. I did blot it after the first reapplication after lunch, but it did come off on my fingers if I accidentally touched my mouth or anything like that. So I guess maybe that's a thing where if you want it to be that comfortable to wear, you have to be careful. And this is the whole reason why I think red is one of the hardest colors to wear. It's not necessarily the color, but it is kind of like the ingredients that they have to put in it in order to get it to look good. I will say this lipstick looks good. I think from a wearability factor, the look with the comfort, it's A+. I have to give it that. but it's just not going to be my go-to for any type of lipstick like on a normal day. I do not like the spread of the pigment, and I prefer a more neutral color that kind of like wears away where you can't see pockets of pigment on your lips. But I do think that for $30, if you want a red that's extremely comfortable, this is totally worth it. I don't know if it's worth $30 in the actual red color category. Like, I'm just being honest, Christina, I love you, but I think it's a little bit too sheer. And if we're talking about undertones, I feel like this one, I don't know, it's like, it looks more pink in my opinion. Like, I think if you want to go with like a red, Lunar Beauty's Aphrodite is probably like a red on you. I want to say this one kind of has that more blue purple undertone, which maybe makes the red rich. But this one, I don't know. I feel like it had more magenta look than actual red. So what are we going to do? We're going to put it on, of course. I have no lipstick on. I did do a neutral eye to combat the bright red lips. I think that's very important when you're thinking about wearing a red lipstick because you don't want to overdo your eye, especially in like blues and purples and stuff, because then you just end up looking like your name is Tammy and you're like walking around a truck stop with like your cell phone in your hand. I don't know. It's just like kind of sketchy. No offense to any Tammys that live near a truck stop. But like I always think about that when you're wearing like a bold lip, like kind of go more neutral in the rest of your makeup. I don't know, it's like you have to have like one star of the show, you know? And if it's gonna be a red lip, which is the most powerful lip, just kind of like ease it on the rest of your face. Okay, like I said, I prepped my lips with balm, but like forever ago. It is definitely not any kind of like Vaseline on there right now because I didn't want it to interfere with this lipstick. This, again, very creamy formula. I do like the idea of the slope on the tip. However, I find this makes it more difficult for me to apply. I prefer the bullets that have the flat dip, you know. I get what you were going for, but and I appreciate the attention to detail, but for me, it's a little bit kind of hard to apply. And if you had thinner lips than me, I don't know how this would actually work on you. Right now, like I said, this takes a little bit to apply, so like please forgive me while I do this. So, okay, on camera, this is funny, isn't it? On camera, that looks pretty good. It's like a red mustache. Oh, do you see, like I have not touched my bottom lip, but do you see how it has spread? It's just like, you have to be careful, you know? Okay, so actually looking at it in this light, it's almost like it has the orangey undertone. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so you can see, but it's very emollient and like it spreads though. There we go, a little bit better. But like it's okay. So as you can see, you can probably wear this without lining if you're just kind of going for a more quick, I don't even know how you can use the word quick in a red lipstick thing, but maybe that's why she designed it that way, because she's just wearing it constantly. Also, I do feel like on camera, this is reading way more red than it does in real life. And maybe that was another plus for her since she's on camera all of the time for her stand-up specials and stuff. It does make the lips look really pretty. They look plump. They're not like settling into the lines because it's not very drying. Okay, so I have two red lip liners here. And so I actually tried my St. Luxe first, and this did not play well. I don't know why. I don't know why this one just, I don't know. You could definitely see the line around. So I ended up having to go with the Pat McGrath Labs. This is in the shade Bloodlust, which, you know, in hindsight, it's probably better anyway. But I'm just gonna line these real quick so you can get a nice finished look. Do you see how that just kind of emphasized the line a little bit? I will say throughout the day, the lipstick is going to fade a lot faster than the liner does. I caught myself in the mirror a lot looking and seeing that the line was definitely more pigmented around the lipstick. So you got to keep kind of like keeping check on it. But you know, in this light on this camera, I think it actually looks like really pretty. See, and like with my eyes being kind of like toned down and not a lot of blush and everything, it gives kind of like a classy goth look, you know what I'm saying? How about these Killstar dagger earrings with the red heart, huh? That's like perfect. One last thing I want to do, because this is a red lipstick video, is I want to swatch the Christina P Perfect Red against the Lunar Beauty Aphrodite. Now, it's like apples and oranges here because this is a cream bullet lipstick and this is obviously a liquid lipstick, but I just want you to see the difference between the tones and the application of this said Perfect Red versus Aphrodite. Okay, so I'm just gonna swatch on my hand here. Again, the tip on this makes swatching a little bit difficult, but we're just gonna try. Okay, so there you go. You can see I'm going over a whole bunch of times. See how that reads a little bit more pink on my hand than it does my mouth? It's just, it's an odd thing, but it definitely is reading red on the lips. So maybe keep that in mind. Now we're gonna swatch the Aphrodite. This, I would say, is my go-to red. However, this is not as comfortable as this bullet lipstick is. It is a beautiful, like, look at that red. It actually almost looks like the red that I have on my lips, but like next to each other, I don't know. But that is a gorgeous red. That is a fantastic red. I will say though, it dries down. It dries down and it's kind of more uncomfortable to wear, but I love this one. If I am wearing it for a very short amount of time for something special, which is what I would do for a red lip, this is usually my go-to. If I know that I want to wear a red lip during the day, I would definitely go for the Christina P, but you can see the differences in kind of the tone of them. Oh, it's so weird though that like it looks so light on my hand right there, but you just watch me put it on. All right, my final thoughts. Do I think that the Perfect Red lipstick by Christina P is worth $30? I probably personally would not spend $30 on this lipstick. I'm very happy to have it as a gift, so if you're looking for a gift for somebody, perfect chance, but I just probably wouldn't spend $30 on this myself. One, because I don't wear red lipstick that often, and I don't know. I don't like the transfer so much and all that kind of stuff, but if you do love red lipstick and you want to wear it more than once a week or once a month and you want it to last like throughout the day, I do think this has some longevity and comfort factors that do justify the price. Plus, it does look pretty beautiful. That's all I have for you today, guys. If you could please like this video, it really does help me out. I will put the link to this lipstick down below if you are interested in checking it out. I will also link the YouTube channel for Your Mom's House and Christina's Instagram if you are interested in finding out more about this hilarious woman who is kind of a goth mom. If you could comment on how you think this looks on my face, that would be awesome. And if you could subscribe so you can follow all of my antics, that would be the awesomest. I love you so, so much. I will see you on the next one.